Hello, Mgtows. Hello, man. Take that down. Hello, Mgtows. Hello, man. Okay, sounds good. Everything sounds good. I wanted to make a little bit of short today, and I want to talk about a subject. I want to talk about climate change and people that don't believe in climate change and people that do believe in climate change. And it really doesn't matter to me. It's just something we should all work on. And if we start working on it, then we don't have to deal with climate change. And one of the things that bothers me is some of the analogies they use in climate change. I'm going to share something with you, and then we'll go and we'll take a look at it. And then I'll explain to you how this is utterly just ridiculous. And I'll wait for a couple people to come in, actually. And there are really ridiculous arguments of things. And in Mgtow, we have to untangle things in life. Our responsibility for our lives is to look at the stupid in things. We look at how absurd things are. We look at the absurdity of blue pill people and maters, breeders. We look at the absurdity of the world around us, and then we don't participate in that kind of absurdity. What really bothers me is when some of the smartest people in the world act the stupidest or say the stupidest things, and they present it in such a way that it almost sounds feasible. And then we have the rest of the blue pill people that just follow along and agree with him because he's got some credentials or he's got some brains, but he didn't apply it in this area. And what I'm going to talk about today is Jordan Peterson. Let me screen share. I'll screen share this, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, and I'll tell you why it is utterly stupid. Let me see if this is up. This is Jordan Peterson at a conference. This woman's asking him a question about climate change, and then he's going to give an answer. I'll just do a short on the answer, and then I'm going to answer it for you.
Us all, left and right, moving us beyond debates about C16 to discussions at the UN at Katowice next month, where perhaps humanity might finally discover its global map of meaning.
By the way, that's
I mean, there's a couple of reasons. I mean, the first reason is that I spent a lot of time reading. I worked for a UN committee for 2 years on sustainable economic and ecological development, and read a very large amount during that period of time and learned a lot, much of which made me much more optimistic than I have been before I read the relevant literature, which was a real shock to me. But the climate change issue is an absolutely catastrophic, nightmarish mess, and the idea that will unite us that's not going to unite us. I mean, first of all, it's very difficult to separate the science from the politics. And second, even if the more radical claims are true, we have no idea what to do about it. And so, no. And besides, it's even worse than that. Here's one of the worst things about the whole mess is, so as you project outwards with regards to your climate change projections, which are quite unreliable to begin with, and the unreliability of the measurement magnifies as you move forward in time, obviously, because the errors accumulate. And so,
okay, that's as far as we'll go on that, because it just irritates me. It just irritates me all the hell that he would actually start to think this way. And then I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to look up at my pretty face and everything. Okay, so Jordan Peterson has an argument, and Alan Watts covered this. Alan Watts says he was a child in the Great Depression, and he said how many people needed to die during the Great Depression, and he says zero people needed to starve to death. 0 people needed to be in misery. The reason that people starved to death during the Great Depression, and the reason people were in misery, because some bankers lost their inches. They lost the measurement in which they can measure money, and thus everything collapsed. And there were several cures to this. They enlarged money. They enlarged money, which is enlargement of a measurement, a metaphysical measurement in our mind. So they brought jobs back, and everything was fine after that. But the whole thing never needed to happen because a bunch of bankers lost their inches. Inches are measurements, metaphysical measurements like this that we use. You can, if you lose that measurement of a tape measure, what you can do is you can grab a piece of string and use that as a measurement. There's never no reason to lose your inches. Jordan Peterson said the measurement come out and it gets, if the measurement's wrong, now Jordan Peterson and probably a dozen and a half, 24 scientists and social engineers and philosophers were probably tasked with this problem. And if the only answer that these idiots can give is they lost their inches, it doesn't seem to work very good. The metaphor Alan Watts gave for this was a worker comes into work. He's building a new building. He gets in there in the new building and he looks around at the boss and he checks his pockets and everything. He goes, "Gosh, boss, I can't work today because I lost my inches." And the boss looks up and goes, "Geez, if you lost your inches, you might as well go home, because that's a stupid idea. Go home, and when you find your inches, come back." We've tasked people to do jobs like this that have lost their inches. And inches, like I say, are a metaphysical measurement of a problem. Use a piece of fucking string if that if it bothers you that much. Use a piece of string and you can get your inches back. Jordan Peterson has a metaphysical measurement in his mind, and he says that we can't measure climate change because I lost my inches. So I can't do this job because someone's not supplying me with the damn inches. I can go down to the plumbers union down there and ask them, "Hey, can you bring Jordan Peterson some freaking inches so he can measure climate change?" Now, if you want a measurement for climate change, you look at England this year, and it's 114 degrees there, and things are starting to happen. Things are lit on fire. And let's get real about this. If you're saying that we can't do nothing about climate change, 246 children dying in Maine because the pipes of a coal plant were pumping out garbage into the atmosphere. You're a freaking idiot. And 246 children got terrible diseases from that because you lost your inches. It's the same freaking thing as some banker during the Great Depression saying, "Oh, these people must starve to death because we can't find our inches." It's a stupid argument. And if the smartest people on our planet are using the stupidest arguments, now he was probably right that the other that it's not going to bring us all together. Nothing's ever going to bring us all together. There's always going to be idiots arguing against things. And the more stupid people there are on this planet that believe in stupid things, that's what we'll get. And all you're getting is a following of stupid people. Here, Jordan Peterson, here's a Stanley tape measure. May you find your inches, because you were tasked with a job and you failed. And that's what I wanted to talk about. In Mgtow, we do the logical argument for things. Sometimes you got to step back away from an argument and you look at what you're talking about. This person was talking about global warming and the effects on global warming for our children. Jordan Peterson lost his inches and can't measure that, so he can't participate in the job he was hired to do. Now that is the silliest answer. Now I watched a few videos, Rick RP, this morning on this. Everybody seems to have their different opinion on it, but nobody is telling you the truth that some idiot lost his inches and can't find them, because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. The data is it's just a measurement of inches. If you want the measurement of inches in this thing, just look at the polar ice caps melting. Just look at the 246 kids that got sick in this community. Just look at 114 degrees. There's your inches. Now start doing the job we've hired you to do. But they'll argue stupid metaphysical. This is what a metaphysical ontological argument looks like. And it really just kills me. And I get this all the time. I get this in Mgtow. I get this out of Mgtow. And what I'm trying to say is when we're in Mgtow, we look at the argument for what it is. Not for what somebody says it is. We never add in these metaphysical ideas of certain things. We say, this is it. This is climate change. It's here. It's our responsibility. We are being tasked to end this right now. And that is the truth. We, our generation, are being tasked to end that. Now, I hear the argument from all the imbecilic what do you call them, millennials. Oh, these guys have, no, we're trying to fix this, but we have so many people that have lost their inches that we can't fix it because we can't get nobody on board. You know what I do? I just ride a bike and I reduce my carbon output. And if everybody did that, this thing would get close. And if everybody reduced their electric, it would get close. Every single person can do this. Don't lose your inches on this. Don't lose your mind on this. We all are tasked with the responsibility to reduce our carbon footprint just a little bit. Just a little bit. I reduce mine by 480 gallons of gas a year. At least I'm trying. At least I'm doing something. And that's what Mgtows do. At least we try, and at least we do something. In our philosophy, we walked away from it. I walked away from driving a car. It's too expensive. It cost me thousands of dollars in payments. It cost me thousands of dollars in insurance because I'm a man, because they somehow raised my insurance. It cost me repairs, maintenance, oil, gas, all that, when I don't really need to do it. It was a simple decision. There's a lot of simple decisions we do in our lives. Turn off the freaking lights when you leave the room. You've participated. I'll draw you up a certificate of participation, Jordan Peterson, if you just turned off your lights when you leave the room. Them are simple answers for a big, big question. We don't need to have these stupid arguments, and we don't need to have these people arguing really, really just garbage. And that's all I wanted to talk about today, because it hurts my mind when I have to live in this world with idiots. Yeah, hello, Father. No, we're gonna do fun facts with climate change. But when I see imbecilic responses to this thing, them are the things that just drive me nuts. And maybe they do need a few philosophers to go up there and go, hey, we can mix the scientific philosophy with the metaphysical philosophy, the ontological and the epistemological, and we can just fix this problem. Just let us do it, because you people that were tasked to do it, you're not doing a very good job. And that's all I got to say about this thing. It's really ridiculous, and we can all do our part. And that's what Mgtow's about. It's cutting to the quick on a lot of the garbage we hear about there. He's making it political. He's making it about some guy didn't properly give him the inches so he can measure the situation. Jesus Christ. The inches are right in front of you. It's a metaphysical measurement. Use a piece of string, use a piece of string, Mr. Peterson. And that's all I got to say. And I wanted to stop by, say hello to all my friends, and that's about it. You guys have a great day. I'm going to have a great day, and take care, and always be Mgtow. Mgtow.